Uvacha
निशम्य वैकुण्ठ नियोज्य मुख्ययोर्
Nisamya Vaikuntha Niyojya Mukhyayor
मधुच्छुतं वाचमुरुक्रमप्रियः
Madhuchutyam Vachama Urukrama Priyaha
कृताभिषेक कृतनित्यमङ्गलो
Kritabhisheka Kritanitya Mangalo
मुनीन् प्रणम्याशिषमभ्यवादयत्
Munin Pranamya Sisamabhyavadayata. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, Maharaj Dhruva was very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he heard the sweet speeches of the Lord's chief associates in the Vaikuntha planet, he immediately took his sacred bath, dressed himself with suitable ornaments, and performed his daily spiritual duties. Thereafter he offered his respectful obeisances to the great sages present there and accepted their blessings.
So Nishamya, on hearing Vaikuntha Niyojya Mukhyayoho. Vaikuntha Niyojya Mukhyayoho Madhuchutam Vacham Urukrama Priyaha. Urukrama is the name of Krishna. Urukrama Priya means who are dear to Krishna. Urukrama means the performer of superhuman activities. So the two Vaikuntha associates, Nanda and Sunanda, they are dear to Krishna. So on hearing the Madhuchutam Vacham, on hearing the words, what kind of words? On hearing the sweet words. On hearing the Madhuchutam, honey words of the two associates are flowing with the honey. On hearing the honey-like words of the two associates from Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha Niyojya Mukhya Yoho, were dear to the Lord. What did Dhruva Maharaj do? Krita Abhisheka. The first thing he did was that he took his daily bath. Second activity, Krita Nitya Mangalo. He performed his daily rituals. It could be chanting the Gayatri mantra, performing his japa. He performed his Nitya Karma. He performed his daily rituals. And Munin Pranamya. He offered respects to the sages assembled there. And Ashisham Abhyavadayat. And he sought the blessings of those sages. Or he had the sages bless him. So very beautiful shloka. So we can see that Dhruva Maharaj, although he was going back to Vaikuntha, but still he was dutiful in performing his daily activities in devotional service. Even just before he was going to the material world, going from the material world. Sometimes we may think that when we can actually get a full stop for our chanting 16 rounds, we may think like that. But Dhruva Maharaj, even at that time, he did not miss his daily devotional activities. And Prabhupada mentions that every devotee should take his bath early in the morning and decorate his body with tilaka. Krita Abhisheka, because after bath, first thing we do is we apply the tilaka. So, the real ornament of a Vaishnava is the tilaka. One may have the other ornaments like a gold or a different diamond. Many of these things will be difficult to get. But for the real auspicious ornaments for a Vaishnava is the 12 tilaka marks on the body. So it is one of the item of sadhana bhakti. Among the 64 items, one of the items is to mark the body with tilaka. When the Yamaduta see a person marked with the tilaka, they will not approach that person. Hmm. So, so it's an item of bhakti actually. And Dhruva Maharaj also, when he was living at Badrika Ashram, he was living along with the other sages there. So the Vaikuntha airplane came only to take Dhruva Maharaj to Vaikuntha, not for the other sages. So Dhruva Maharaj could have become proud that I am so special that it has come only to me. But Dhruva Maharaj did not become puffed up. Rather, as a humble devotee, he took the blessings of the other Vaishnavas there. Uh, So we can see Dhruva Maharaj's humility, his dutiful nature of performing his daily devotional activities. So regarding, since Prabhupada mentions about applying tilaka, I will mention one story. When Ramanujacharya went from Srirangam to Melkote, when Srirangam was attacked by a Chola king and he wanted to kill Ramanujacharya. So at that time, in order to protect Ramanujacharya, Kuresh took on the saffron robes of Ramanuja, and then he told Ramanujacharya, his guru, to go in, take on the white robes and escape from Srirangam. So Ramanujacharya took up the white robes and then he traveled for many days and finally he arrived at Melkote. So in the Melkote, Ramanujacharya, uh, when he arrived at Melkote, uh, so he came to on the banks of the Veda Pushkarini. So there was a stone slab called as Paridana Shila. In that Paridana Shila, Dattatreya, in the previous ages, he offered lessons to the personified Vedas. The personified Vedas were the disciples of Dattatreya. Dattatreya gave spiritual instruction to the personified Vedas in that Paridana Shila. So in that place, Ramanujacharya, in that place, Dattatreya, he took on his sannyas robes. So Ramanujacharya, he also decided to, because now he was wearing the robe, white clothes, he wanted to again accept his saffron robes. So Ramanujacharya could have worn the saffron robes as soon as he left Srirangam. But it is said in the Shastras that the saffron robes of a sannyasi should be taken from an appropriate person or in a very holy place. So Ramanujacharya felt that the place the place where Dattatreya instructed the personified Vedas, the place where Dattatreya accepted the saffron robes, that would be the suitable place to accept his saffron robes on this danda. So in that Paridana Shila, on the banks of Veda Pushkarini, if you had gone to Melkote, few years back I got an opportunity to go there. So there you can see there Ramanujacharya accepted a sannyas danda and saffron robes. And then after that, Ramanujacharya, he comes to the Kalyani. Kalyani is that tank associated with the temple. So when he comes to Kalyani, so at that time, Ramanujacharya, his tilak was almost going to get exhausted. Vaishnava tilak was going to get exhausted. So why I'm narrating this story is related to the tilaka. So Ramanujacharya, he became very sad because just like in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, we actually apply the Gopi Chandan tilaka. You know that Gopi Chandan comes from the Gopi Talab in Dwaraka. I hope you must have gone there to that place. In Dwaraka, on the banks of Gopitala, from there only the Gopi Chandan comes. In the Sri Sampradaya, they also apply the Vaishnava Tilaka. So there the Vaishnava Tilaka comes from a particular white sand. Hmm. So Ramanujacharya, his Vaishnava Tilak was going to get exhausted. So at that time, Ramanujacharya's feelings were, Ramanujacharya felt that without the Vaishnava Tilaka, this body is as good as the cremation ground. He felt that how can I live without wearing the Tilaka? So Ramanujacharya started fasting. He felt that this body would become like a cremation ground, Smashana Bhumi, without Tilaka. So he started fasting. So when he started fasting, at that time in the dream, the Lord Narayana of Melkotai, Melkotai's another name is Yadavagiri. His another name is Tirunarayanapuram. So the Lord Narayana of Melkotai appeared in the dream of Ramanujacharya and told him that I am present in the Melkotai mountain. I am waiting to be rescued by you. And he also told Ramanujacharya that you will also get the necessary tilaka, the white sand meant for the tilaka for your use. So Ramanujacharya, then he awoke from the dream and he went into ecstasy. Immediately he informed this to his disciple Vishnu Vardhanaraya. Vishnu Vardhanaraya was a king. The Vishnu Vardhanaraya immediately, after he heard about the dream of Ramanujacharya, he arranged for the jungles to be cleared, and he arranged for the necessary arrangements. He made necessary arrangements to rescue the deity of Lord Narayana. So Ramanujacharya went to that jungle path, and then he was trying to find the deity of Narayana, but he could not find the deity. Again, the Lord came in the dream of Ramanujacharya and told him that he should come to a holy pukur called as Kalyani. In the southwest corner of Kalyani, he will find two trees called Champaka trees and a Bakula tree. And in between the Champaka and Bakula tree, he will find an ant hill which is surrounded and covered by a Tulasi plant. And below that ant hill is the deity of Tirunarayana, like the Lord told in the dream. And the Lord told that in the northwest corner of the same Kalyani pond, he will get the necessary white sand for applying the tilaka. So Ramanujacharya again informed Vishnuvardhana Rai, and then they went the particular place and they discovered the deity of Tirunarayana. And all the Vishnuvardhana Rai and everyone became very delighted. And Ramanujacharya performed Abhishek of the deity, and he also ordered for the proper temple to be built. And then he went to the northwest corner and he also got the necessary white sand which is used for applying tilaka. So why the story is there? That you can see the consciousness of a Vaishnava like Ramanujacharya. He felt that without applying tilaka, this body is as good as a cremation ground. And he went to the extent of fasting. So that is how much sometimes we may take these rituals for just this is an external thing. But then, yeah, it's a ritual, but it's a devotional ritual. A devotional this ritual. It is meant for the pleasure of the Lord. So Prabhupada is emphasizing the importance of applying tilaka, taking bath, and taking the blessings of the other sages, and how Dhruva Maharaj is dutiful in performing his devotional service. Next shloka. परित्याभ्यर्च्य दृष्ण्याग्र्यम्
परित्याभृश्य दृश्या दिश्न्या
दृष्ण्याघ्र्यम्
दिश्न्याग्र्यं
पार्ष पार्षदाभभिवन्द्य च
पार्षदावभिवन्द्य च
येष तदधिष्ठातुम्
येष तदधिष्ठातुं
बिभ्रद्रूपं हिरण्मयम्.
बिभ्रद्रूपं हिरण्मयम्. Translation. Before getting aboard, Dhruva Maharaj worshipped the airplane, circumambulated it, and also offered obeisances to the associates of Vishnu. In the meantime, he became as brilliant and illuminating as molten gold. He was thus completely prepared to board the transcendental plane.
So Drishnya Agryam, it refers to that Vaikuntha airplane. So Dhruva Maharaj Paritya, he circumambulated the Vaikuntha airplane. Abhyarchya, he worshipped the Vaikuntha airplane. And Parshadau Abhivandyacha, he offered respects to the Nanda and Sunanda. And then Yeshatat Adhishtatum, Bibrad Rupam Hiranmayam. Bibrad Rupam Hiranmayam, assuming a golden form, he desired to board that plane. Tat Adhishtatum Yesha. So we can see these shlokas are very profound. We can see the every detail of Dhruva Maharaj's activity. So Dhruva Maharaj offered respects to Nanda and Sunanda. He circumambulated and worshipped that airplane because anything related with Vishnu, that is also worshipable. Anything related with Vishnu is called as a Tadiya. So just like Lord Vishnu is worshipable, similarly, Vishnu's devotees are worshipable. His paraphernalia is worshipable. His abode is worshipable. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. Just like Krishna is worshipable, his abode Vrindavan is equally worshipable. So the Vaikuntha airplane is also transcendental. That is why, in fact, the Tadiya Aradhana is higher than even the worship of Vishnu. So therefore, we worship every paraphernalia of the Vishnu. Shankha, Chakra, Bada, Gada, Padma, his lotus feet, his abode, everything. So Dhruva Maharaj, therefore he offered respects to the associates and to the plane before riding it. And so Dhruva Maharaj, he had a spiritual body, and therefore his body was illuminating like a molten gold. So the Mayavadi philosophers cannot imagine because they think that ultimately the ultimate reality is the formless, qualityless Brahman. They cannot understand the transcendental variety in the transcendental platform. So Dhruva Maharaj, so Vishnu Loka or Dhruva Loka is completely different from the material world. So a Vishnu temple within this world is also completely different from the material world. The Vishnu temples in the material world, they are like the spiritual embassies of Vaikuntha Loka. That is why in the Bhagavatam 11th canto it is mentioned that the 11th canto Krishna says that forest is in Sattva Guna, city is in Rajoguna, and the brothel is in Tamoguna, and the temple of Vishnu is transcendental to the three modes. Uh, So, so therefore, as soon as we are in the temple, we should know very well that we are situated differently from the material world. And in the temple, Vishnu, his throne, his room, and all other things are transcendental. So therefore, Dhruva Maharaj gave proper respect to the Vaikuntha airplane also. Next shloka. तदोत्थानपदपुत्रो
तदोत्तनपादः पुत्रो
ददर्शान्तकमागतम्
ददर्शान्तकमागतम्
मृत्योर्मूर्ध्निपदं दत्त्वा
मृत्योर्मूर्ध्नि पदं दत्त्वा
आरुरोहाद्भुतं गृहम्
आरुरोहाद्भुतं ग्रहम्. Translation. When Dhruva Maharaj was attempting to get on the transcendental plane, he saw death personified approach him. Not caring for death, however, he took advantage of the opportunity to put his feet on the head of death, and thus he got up on the airplane, which was as big as a house.
So tada, at that time, Uttanapada Putra, the son of Uttanapada, Dadarsha, he saw. What did he see? Antakam Agatam, he saw death approaching him. Antakam Agatam. And what did he do? Mrityor Murdni Padam Dattva. He placed his foot on the head of death. The death's head, the head of the death personified, became a steps for Dhruva Maharaj to climb onto the Vaikuntha airplane. Aruroha Adbhutam Griham. So the Vaikuntha airplane was like a astonishing griham, astonishing abode. I mean, the airplane itself was like a big palace. The modern day airplanes, Prabhupada is also writing in detail in the purport. In the modern day airplanes have so many limitations. We have an extremely small leg space. Just to get little more leg space, you have to pay so much more actually. On top of that, there's so much of sound and so many other things actually. But here the Vaikuntha airplane is called as Adbhutam Griham. It's an astounding abode. And Dhruva Maharaj, he put his foot on the head of the death personified and climbed up to the airplane. So therefore, Prabhupada is writing in detail about the passing away of a devotee and the passing away of a non-devotee. Both may appear to be same on an external level, but actually both are completely different. So when the death personified was approaching Dhruva Maharaj was not afraid of the death. Instead, the death did not give trouble to Dhruva Maharaj. Rather, the death helped Dhruva Maharaj to board the airplane. Dhruva Maharaj took advantage of the death's presence and he put his foot and then boarded the airplane. So, like when a cat is carrying the kitten and the cat is carrying the rat, kitten is also carried by the cat in its mouth. Rat is also carried by the cat in its mouth. But in the case of the rat sees the cat as a death personified. But the kitten sees the cat as an affectionate mother. So the kitten enjoys being caught by its mother cat. So When a materialist is leaving this body, he is he is caught by death personified. He becomes afraid on seeing the death. It is like a rat seeing the cat. But when the spiritualist, when a devotee is leaving this world, huh, when he sees the death, he does not become afraid of the death. Rather, he becomes excited about the death because he feels that, oh, now the death has come. Now I'm going to be permanently be engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, he becomes enthusiastic on seeing the death. That is like a kitten seeing the cat. So Dhruva Maharaj, when he saw the death personified, he became enthusiastic. He took advantage of the death's presence, and then he put his feet on the death and got up and boarded the Vaikuntha airplane. Hmm. So Vaikuntha airplane is described as Adbhutam Griham. Hmm. So in the modern scientists, when they invent the airplane, there are so many limitations are there, uh, and you have to fill the fuel in different fuel stations to travel in the airplane. But the Vaikuntha airplane is like a city with the gardens and parks and lakes, and you don't have to be afraid of some refilling the fuel. Uh, that's the nature of the Vaikuntha airplane. Uh, Even in the third canto, we saw that when Kardama Muni, by his mystic siddhis, when he produced an airplane, that there is a detailed description of that airplane, how it was like a city. And then in that airplane, he traveled with Devahuti to different holiday spots, which even the great Devatas did not have access to. Such places he went.
The word is that Akasha Patana, no? Something? Akasha Patan. What is that word? Akasha Patana?
Akasha Patana, I think
Is
that
it?
means one of the way of traveling in the space, I think. Akasha Patana. Okay, next shloka. Tada dundubayo nedurmridangappanavadayah gandharvamukya prajahu petu kusuma vrishtayah. So at that time, the drums and kettle drums resounded from the sky. The Gandharvas began to sing, and other demigods showered flowers like torrents of rain upon Dhruva Maharaj. So this is an important shloka. Sacha swarlokamarokshyan
Such a
सच स्वलोकमारोक्षन्
sunitim jananim dhruvaha
सुनीतिं जननीं ध्रुवः
अन्वस्मरदगम हित्वा
अन्वस्मरदकं हित्वा
दीनां यास्ये त्रिविष्टपम्.
दीनां यास्ते त्रिविष्टपम्. Translation: Dhruva was seated in the transcendental airplane, which was just about to start, when he remembered his poor mother Suniti. He thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother?
सच स्वर्लोकमारोक्ष्यन् सुनीतिं जननीं ध्रुवः अन्वस्मरदगं हित्वा दीनां यास्ये त्रिविष्टपम्. So very important shloka. So Swarlokam Arokshan, when Dhruva was ascending to the Lord's planet. Here Swarloka does not refer to Swargaloka. One of the meaning of the word is Swarloka, it refers to Vaikuntha. So here Swarlokam refers to Vaikuntha. As he was ascending to the Lord's planet, Anvasmarat, he remembered his mother Suniti. Jananim Sunitim Dhruvaha Anvasmarat. And in fact, Dhruva Maharaj was thinking that agam hitva trivishtapakam agam hitva dinam yasye. Let me give up this place. I don't want even go to Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is a place which nobody can attain. But I don't want to go to Vaikuntha alone. If I have to go to Vaikuntha alone, I don't want Vaikuntha. Giving up that Vaikuntha, I will go to my unfortunate mother. Deenam yasye. Trivishtapakam agam hitva deenam yasye. So Dhruva had this particular shloka. There is His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. I don't know about nowadays, but for many years, at least for 2 decades or something, I remember. Every year he would do a program in Birla House. Birla House means in the Birla family, they would invite Maharaj to do a satsang program somewhere in the month of January. At least for many times. Many times in that Birla satsang program, Dhruva Maharaj, every year I remember hearing Maharaj narrating the same Dhruva Maharaj story. And many times he would come to this, when he would be narrating the story, he would come to this particular point in the story and then he will elaborate. Maharaj would say that Dhruva Maharaj ruled the earth for 36,000 years. So at the beginning of his life, that means at the age of his 5 years, 36,000 years before, his mother Suniti guided Dhruva Maharaj to worship Vishnu. But now at the end of his life, he is remembering the good instructions given by his mother 36,000 years before. And Maharaj would say this is the meaning of gratitude. Gratitude means you don't forget the good thing done by the other person, even though he might have done to you many thousands of years back. That is the principle of gratitude. So Dhruva Maharaj had a feeling of obligation to his mother, because it was Suniti who had given him the clue which had enabled him to be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet. The Suniti acted as the Pada Pradarshaka Guru for Dhruva Maharaj. Pada Pradarshaka Guru means somebody who shows the way. So even to such a person, Pada Pradarshaka Guru is not in the level of maybe a Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru. But still, Dhruva Maharaj felt great gratitude towards him. And Ramanujacharya was going to Tirupati. So he was walking on one day, at one particular place, he asked a local villager, which is the way to go to Tirumala. And that local villager was like a ordinary, some Shudra, and he told Ramanuja, this is the way to go to that place. And immediately Ramanujacharya offered prostrated obeisances to that Shudra. The other disciples of Ramanujacharya, they became astonished. Why Ramanujacharya is offering obeisances to him? And when they asked Ramanujacharya, Ramanujacharya told that anybody who shows the path to go to Tirumala, such a person is actually worshipable. So therefore, he showed me the path to go to Tirumala, therefore I offered obeisances. So that is how Ramanujacharya showed respects even to the Pada Pradarshaka Guru. So Narada Muni was the Diksha Guru of Dhruva Maharaj. So Suniti is the first person who gave instructions to Dhruva Maharaj how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Lord. So it is the duty of a Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way. And then it depends on the disciple to execute the process. So according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. You can read in the Adi Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita, first chapter, I think 47th shloka. Yeah, 47th shloka. शिक्षा गुरु के त जानी कृष्णेर स्वरूप अंतर्यामी भक्त श्रेष्ठ यही दुई रूप. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna, and the Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. I think next shloka. Yeah, the instructing spirit. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. So the Shiksha Guru and the Diksha Guru in the Shastra, they are put on the same level. So in that purport also, Prabhupada says that there is no difference between the shelter-giving Supreme Lord and the Diksha Guru and the Shiksha Guru. If one foolishly discriminates between them, he commits an offense in the discharge of devotional service. So generally the Shiksha Guru himself becomes a Diksha Guru. But sometimes the Shiksha Guru may be sometimes different. Diksha Guru may be different. Or both may be giving Diksha also, Shiksha also. So according to the Shastric injunction, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. And generally the Shiksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Because Suniti was a woman, and the culture, the Vedic culture, the women, they don't play the role of a Diksha Guru. So therefore Suniti, she could not become the Dhruva Maharaj's Diksha Guru. But still, Dhruva Maharaj was not less obliged to Suniti. So therefore Dhruva Maharaj is remembering Suniti. And another thing we see that when Dhruva Maharaj remembered Suniti, the description will come in the next shloka, that the Vaikuntha associates pointed out to Dhruva another plane in which Suniti was also being carried to Vaikuntha. So whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates, immediately it fructifies. That is why one of the quality of Krishna is Satya Sankalpa. So similarly, a devotee who is completely dependent on Krishna, he can also fulfill his desires by the grace of the Lord. So the Lord fulfills the wishes of a pure devotee. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on Krishna. So therefore, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj thought of his poor mother Suniti, so the Nanda and Sunanda assured Dhruva Maharaj that Suniti is also going to Vaikuntha. Because Dhruva thought that he is going to Vaikuntha alone. And he felt that I don't want to go to Vaikuntha alone. Because Dhruva felt that people would criticize me for going alone to Vaikuntha, not taking Suniti. So Dhruva Maharaj considered that he wanted to see his mother. So therefore, Krishna could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaj, and he immediately fulfilled the desire of Dhruva Maharaj. This proves that whatever a pure devotee desires, by the grace of Krishna, those desires are fulfilled by Krishna. The Prabhupada writes in a purport in 10th canto, 13th chapter. In Vrindavan, there was a place without a temple. And a devotee desired that let there be a temple. And now by the desires of the devotee, Krishna fulfilled that desire. Prabhupada talks about the Krishna Balram temple. So, so therefore, that so by the grace of the Lord, the devotee becomes exactly like the Lord. In the sense that whatever a devotee thinks, that desire becomes fulfilled. His wish is immediately fulfilled. So here we see the principle of gratitude of Dhruva towards Vaniti. So we'll discuss little bit about gratitude, because this is a very important this thing. So gratitude enables the seed of bhakti to grow. So our heart is like a field. When a person receives the seed of bhakti, although the seed may be sown, but the field has to be fertile. So the grateful heart makes the field of the heart fertile. So grateful heart, gratitude makes the field of the heart fertile. And then after sowing that, after making the heart fertile, after sowing the seed, one has to water that seed. Our sadhana and seva is like watering process, watering the seed. And our lifestyle is like protection of the field. Our lifestyle, avoiding the Vaishnava aparad and different lifestyle, that is like the protection of the field by making a fence. So gratitude makes the heart fertile. So gratitude is the fuel of the engine for dedication. When a person wants to dedicate oneself to the service of Krishna, the fuel for that engine is gratitude. So deep sense of gratitude leads to deep sense of loyalty. Gratitude is memory stored in the heart and not in the head. In the head, we can memorize many shlokas, many information, and we can remember many information. But gratitude is the memory stored not in the head, but in the heart. So to the degree, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj mentioned that to the degree we are grateful for the good fortune, we can actually benefit from that good fortune. When we add little bit of potassium permanganate, the whole color of the solution changes. Similarly, when you add little bit of gratitude to any situation, the whole color of the situation changes, one gains a tremendous positivity. However negative the situation may be, by adding a little bit of gratitude, the whole situation becomes positive. Just like by adding little bit of potassium permanganate, the whole color of the solution changes. So there are many shlokas related to gratitude. In the Kimpurusha Varsha, Hanuman and Shugriva, they are glorifying Lord Ram. Shugriva is saying that Najanmanunam Mahatona Saubagam Navangna Buddhir Nakritis Tosha Hetu Thairyat Visrishto Apino Vanaukasas Chakara Sakye Bata Lakshmanagraja. He says that One cannot establish a friendship with the Supreme Lord, Ram, on the basis of material qualities, like one's birth in an aristocratic family, or one's personal beauty, one's eloquence, one's sharp intelligence, or one's superior race or nation. Because in the case of us Vanaras, we don't have any of these good qualities. But still, Lord Ram has accepted us as his friends. We are uncivilized inhabitants of the forest. We have not taken birth in a high family. We don't have physical beauty. We don't have wealth. We don't have high intelligence. We don't have speaking ability. But Lord Ram has accepted us as his friends. So this shows that the Supreme Lord in this world, in every relation, the other person sees many qualifications. When a person wants to join a college, the student sees so many things. What are the he sees so many points about the college. The college wants to take admission of a student. College sees many qualifications of the student. What marks he has got. What is the rank. But in employee also, the employer sees so many qualifications. Employee sees many things. When you talk about marriage, I was speaking with one devotee, inquiring about his marriage. That devotee said that, yeah, I have applied for this marriage board. I filled up a form. He said that in that form contained 300 questions. He said that I took 10 days for me to fill up that form. So, the sense, in a marriage or any this one wants to know many information about the other person before establishing a relation. So in this world, in every relation, one sees many things about the other person before connecting with the other person to establish a relation. But only in the case of Krishna, Krishna does not see anything material to establish a relation with a living entity. And when that such a Supreme Lord is there, and when we go into the Supreme Lord, if we think that if we are just looking for something material from the Supreme Lord, who does not want to see anything material from the living entity, then how foolish it is. So therefore, Shugriva tells in the next shloka, Suro suro vap yatavanaro nara sarvatmanaya sukrutagyam uttamam भजेत रामं मनुजाकृतिं हरिं yavuttaran anayat koshalan divamiti. Whether somebody is a human or a devata, whether somebody is an animal or a devata or an asura, everyone should actually worship the Supreme Lord, Lord Ram, who is Sukritagyam. Sukritagyam means who can be easily made grateful. And that Supreme Lord Ram took all the residents of Ayodhya back to Vaikuntha. So in this way, there are many shlokas about gratitude. So Yudhishthira Maharaj tells when he was seeing bad omens, he was thinking that probably is it the time has come for Krishna to depart from this world. At that time when he was thinking like that, Yudhishthira Maharaj says that Yasmanno Sampado Rajan Yasmanna Sampado Rajyam Dara Prana Kulam Prajaha Asan Sapatna Vijayo Lokascha Yadanugrahat. Yudhishthira Maharaj says that from him only all our kingly opulence, good wives, life, progeny, control over our subjects, victory over our enemies, and future accommodations in the higher planets have become possible. All this is due to his causeless mercy upon us. Yad anugrahat. So generally, in the materialistic way, a person thinks that one can achieve everything by one's own effort. One does not acknowledge the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So that is why when a devotee becomes successful, the immediate cause may be the devotee putting the effort. But the devotee, when he becomes successful, he does not, the materialistic people, they only think about the immediate cause of his effort and they become puffed up and they take credit for the success. But the devotee does not think of the immediate cause, he thinks about the remote cause. And the remote cause is the Supreme Personality of God. So therefore, the devotee, when he becomes successful, he does not become puffed up, rather he gives all credit to Krishna. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj mentioned, he quoted Prabhupada's lecture. He said that Krishna consciousness means to not take credit for anything. Therefore, when a devotee becomes successful, he remembers the remote cause, the ultimate cause, Krishna, and he gives credit to Krishna. And when the devotee goes through a failure, so at that time, instead of pointing out the immediate cause and taking revenge against the immediate cause, the devotee thinks about the remote cause, that he feels that it is my own karma. And it is actually Krishna who has given this mercy in a small token. So therefore, gratitude means, the feeling of gratitude can come only when we see the remote cause, not seeing the immediate cause. So in that way, Dhruva Maharaj is feeling gratitude. Therefore, atheism is not a philosophy. Atheism is nothing but the attitude of lack of gratitude. Atheism is not a philosophy, it's nothing but the attitude of ungratefulness. So gratitude means three things: to recognize what Krishna and the devotees have done for us, and then to remember always that Krishna does for us, and to reciprocate by serving and pleasing him. So Gaurgopal Prabhu mentioned that to say thank you means to recognize. To mean a thank you means to remember. And to live a thank you means to reciprocate with it. And to live the thank you means to do what Krishna wants, to do what the spiritual master wants. So therefore, in the Bhagavatam, in the first canto, in the conversation between Dharma and the earth, Dharma and the earth, Mother Earth. At that time, Mother Earth says that the reason for my distress is that Krishna has disappeared from this world. And in that verse, Mother Earth mentions some, I think, 37 qualities of Krishna. She mentioned 37 qualities of Krishna, and this Krishna who possesses these qualities has disappeared from this world, has finished his completed his pastimes and went back to the Vaikuntha. So one of the quality, the 14th quality she mentions about Krishna is the knowledge. And Prabhupada says that knowledge can be divided into 5 subheadings: intelligence, gratefulness, power of understanding the circumstantial environments of place, object and time, perfect knowledge of everything, and knowledge of the self. And then Prabhupada says, so knowledge, one of the aspect of knowledge is gratefulness. So knowledge is not simply about information, knowledge is about the feeling of gratitude. So in that way, Dhruva Maharaj is feeling grateful to his mother, Suniti. And then, so next verse purport is also very important that we will see in the next class. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any questions or comments. Hare Krishna. So we'll end here. Next week we'll resume.
I
Grantara.
I heard in one of the lectures, I think Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, he spoke that it's amazing to see what you can achieve when you don't care to see who gets the credit. So that way, you're mentioning about some credit or achieve, right? Something like that. So it's amazing to see what you can achieve when you don't care, when you don't see who gets the credit. When you don't care to see who gets the credit.
Thank you, Mata.
So, Prabhuji, this 10th canto Hari Suri's composition is in Padya form, right? So, how do you know? I mean, how do we understand? I mean,
The
is there
first
any?
volume is translated. First volume is translated into Hindi by Hariparshad Dhruva. I think
Okay.
maybe the books are out of stock, I think. Bhakti Rasayanam, maybe it will be reprinted, I don't know. But it is first volume is translated into Hindi.
Okay. So you have the book, Prabhuji?
I have, yeah.
Okay. So you'll be doing with us, no? Gradually. This.
Whenever we come to 10th canto, see.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll see. Otherwise, we'll have to. At one point, I thought maybe 1 week 4th canto, 1 week 10th canto, like that also I thought. Let us see. Okay, we'll end here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Kaura Bhakta Vranda ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, why he has specified, like Dhruva Maharaj specified his mother? I mean, his father is also there, right?
No, his mother was the one who gave that instruction to worship Vishnu.
Okay.
That when Suruchi chastised Dhruva and Dhruva Maharaj was in distress, that time he went to his mother Suniti.
Right.
And Suniti gave the instruction that don't become revengeful towards Suruchi. We get our own karma comes through somebody, through others. And if at all you want to achieve something, you go and worship Vishnu, and Vishnu will fulfill all the desires. And Suniti's instructions to Dhruva Maharaj, you see 4th canto 8th chapter. Suniti says that Tata Manurvo Bhagavan Pitamaho Yamekamatya Purudakshinair Mukai Ishtvabi Duravapamanyato Baumam Sukam Divyam Atapavargyam. Your grandfather Manu worshipped Vishnu by performing sacrifices. He attained prosperity in this life and he attained liberation in the next life. And then he said, your great grandfather Lord Brahma also worshipped Vishnu and achieved his position. Like that, Suniti is the one who inspires Lord Dhruva Maharaj to worship Vishnu. So therefore, Dhruva Maharaj is feeling the gratitude for the spiritual instructions given by Suniti.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, there's something called, like I was hearing this lecture, Hari Vansh Prabhuji or something. I don't remember his name. But he was talking about this gradation where he said Pratyaksha, Paroksha, Aparoksha, Adoksha. And he mentioned Aprakrita, and then he mentions Vrindavan. So this Aprakrita and then is like how you are speaking about this Adharma, Dharma, like that. So this Aprakrita, there's nothing called Prakrita. Is there any?
Prakrita means material.
Okay, okay,
Aprakrita is transcendental.
okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay. So we'll end here. Prantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.